Hey YouTube, I'm gonna continue on with part four of my Not Scary Farm review. This will be probably the last one, if not second to last, depending on time wise. And this, hopefully, I'll get done within this video. I'll get done Trick or Treat, Dominion of the Dead, and Delirium. So we walked over to Trick or Treat. This was towards the end of the night, about 1 o'clock in the morning. Um, I was kind of just, I gotta say, at first I was disappointed because I really wanted to buy the trick or treat bags and everything like that, but they weren't selling them anymore for the night, and all they had left was the cards. I was disappointed because I wanted to get my bag, my trick or treat bag with the mask and all that other stuff. But oh well, so much for that. It was really cool though this year. Um, I liked how in the beginning how you had supposed to ring the doorbell, say trick or treat, then walk in. So my overall view of the maze, I really enjoyed this maze, even though it was extremely short, like the shortest maze probably in history. The detail in it was amazing. The talent was on their A game, especially the tricksters. Oh my goodness, the tricksters were great. Loved you. You guys were amazing at it. Um, I was kind of skeptical at first, hearing that there was cheesy vampires and even the ghost with the sheets and the holes on it. I was like, oh wow, it's gonna be probably an epic fail. But especially, I was gonna be very disappointed because Brooke Walters is is my favorite maze designer out of all the. You're all amazing maze designers, but Brooke Walters, you're my favorite. You've always been. I love all of your mazes. I think you're the best, to be honest. Um, but I was worried I was gonna be disappointed, but you know what? You pulled through. I shouldn't have let my guard down. You were amazing. This was a great maze, great effects, great everything. The only thing I didn't like was since it was end of the night, they're rushing everyone through. So in that last room, from what I heard, you're supposed to stop in it and watch that little show with the or a little speech with the Green Witch. But when we try to slow down and stop and watch the little her little speech and everything, the blackout people, whatever they're called, they're telling us to move forward, don't stop. I was like, wait a second, are we supposed to stop and watch this? But they told us no, go ahead. You need to go. We need to get you through. So I was disappointed, and I was like, oh, I think this would have been such a much. I think it would have been so much better if you actually got to stop. But I think I understand why, because you can only probably fit like 15 people in that room, 15, 20 people in that room at most. And I could see why, because you need to get everyone through, especially towards the end of the night. But I was, maybe that's like a problem that you guys didn't think about. I was like, oh wait, what about the lines will be super long if we do a little show in the middle of it. But besides the disappointing not being able to see the end of the being able to see the end of the maze, that little show. Overall, great maze, great theme, great effects, great props, great talent, just amazing. I loved it to death. Loved it. I'm gonna give Trick or Treat an A minus, and only a minus because it would have been an A if I could have saw that ending. To be honest, like if I could have saw the entire ending, that would have been really cool. Um, then after that, we're rushing because it was almost 11:40, and or sorry, not 11:40, 1:40, and the park was gonna close in 20 minutes. So basically, we had to choose our last maze, which was either Endgames or we could do the Dominion of the Dead and Delirium double maze, I guess you could call it, since it's one after another. And because since we did Dominion of the Dead and Delirium, because get a little more, we got two mazes. So I was disappointed, couldn't do Endgames because I didn't really get to do it last year because I was dead tired, so tired I couldn't understand what was going on last year for end games, and since we can do it this year, I was really bummed again. But hopefully next year I could do it, so I could finally experience it real life. But anyways, Dominion of the Dead. Wow, I'll talk. That's another. It's a wow maze. The I was a little disappointed. I guess the my slight disappointment, or I have a few slight disappointments, but one of those slight disappointments was the outside, because when we saw the back, I believe it was called the West Coast Bash, where they announced their first announcement about Not Scary Farm, which is normally a new maze, when they announced Dominion of the Dead was going to return. Um, when we saw the concept art for the very front of it, I was like, well, wow, it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be like Lockdown, how it took up like the entire front. It was tall, it was wide, it really took up space and it looked really cool and immersed you. I was disappointed because it was just that little tiny overhead, the little sign, and then you went around the statue and the old skeleton playing with the heart prop. Like, it felt like, I wish, you would have made that bigger and more elaborate, because then it looked like we were going into a warehouse, especially with that huge pipe in the front. That huge pipe was like big, red, and obvious, and it looked like it didn't feel like we were going into a vampire, um, Victorian, or Gothic, I should say, Gothic style art gallery. It felt like we were going to a warehouse, to be honest. But but besides that, going into the maze, this was another time, like still for the rest of the night, there was still a lack of talent in numbers. But I gotta say though, when I went in, wow, this has got to be by far one of the most beautiful mazes ever made by Not Scary Farm. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I really wanted to audition and get into Not Scary Farm and get into Dominion of the Dead this year, but unfortunately, due to since I'm a freshman in college, I have night classes, because that's the only way. Because I needed to get units, and the only time available left for math was nighttime, and unfortunately, I wouldn't get off class till 8:30, so I wouldn't be down at in Orange in Not Sperry Farm till 9, and I like 9 or 9:30, and I know that call time and everything, you have to be there by 5 or something like that. So I was just I was sad I couldn't work it this year, but hopefully next year. And please, I want to get Not Scary Farm. Can you please continue into the Dead, please? By far I'm gonna say one of the most beautiful mazes ever. Everything from the costumes to the props to the artwork to the music, everything beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Like the Orabella theme to it, the beautiful horror, totally matched. The story behind it, how the vampires are trying to seduce you, how like everything, how the artwork is, it's off, but it's so beautiful. And I felt like that I've never. This is one of the few times in Not Scary Farm history I actually felt immersed and felt like the story and the maze was real. I felt like everything was real. From like all the hype of it was the hype for the maze was not disappointing at all. I gotta be honest, at all was not disappointing for Dominion of the Dead. Just, oh, sorry, I thought I heard something. Um, but yeah, beautiful maze. I was a little, but talent was on the A game. A lot of good scares. Great job. Um, just wish that all the talent was there. Not everyone on the break or leaving, getting ready to leave work already. I just wish everyone was there. But overall, great maze. I give Dominion of the Dead an A. I personally thought it would have been an A plus if it wasn't for the fact that half the talent was gone. So Dominion of the Dead, it was my favorite new maze this year. I give it the title for my favorite new maze this year. Um, and it will definitely go down in history as one of my favorite mazes of all time. Um, getting a little close on time right now, so I'll go over Delirium real quick. Delirium, same as last year. The only difference was um, the eyeball room, which I heard was supposed to be really brand new, really redone. All it was a new was they added a strobe light in the eyeball hallway, and in the beginning they added that pillar of souls. That's the only thing different. There was actually a fair amount of talent in there. Great job, talent. Really scared me. Really brought that tormented mind of a silent patient for that the quote unquote sequel for the old Asylum Maze. But overall, great job. I give Delirium an A. Um, Great job. Even scared the crap out of my dad, which I'm happy for because he doesn't get scared easily. Um, so yeah, in my next video, so I'll give Delirium an A. But so in my next video, I will give an overall review for Not Scary Farm, and so I just give, overall suggestions and overall feedback for the entire event. So I hope to talk to you guys later, and probably upload more later. It's getting late, and I'm tired. So yeah. Thanks for watching my video. Comment and leaving suggestions, and bye.